Are you thinking about moving to Venice, Florida in 2023, 2024, but don't know where?
Well, today we're gonna help you out. We're gonna dive into our computers, take you to the map, and show you some of the different areas to live, the pros, the cons, and what they have to offer. It's gonna be magical.
And we're getting started right now.
So first things first, we got you started with the hot spot right now, the one that everyone's talking about, Welland
Park.
And as you can see, right here is the Welland Park Welcome Center, which is relatively close to the downtown, pretty much right next to it. And you got Northport a little bit to the east. You got Inglewood kind of south, slightly southwest. You got Venice right here. That's a pretty A1 location.
Yes,
because
definitely.
You got options galore.
And location-wise, you're right off of 41, which 41 takes you all the way to Miami, basically Tampa to Miami. So either way, you can get very quickly on 41 to go south or north.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend taking 41 all the way to Miami though.
It would take forever.
Yeah, it's not like a highway like 75. But that being said,
it can take you to 75.
Yep, you're not too far from, you take 41 a little ways and you can take 777 or River Road and that'll get you over to 75. And then that's probably gonna be your better way to get really far north and south and do so a little bit more quickly, unless you get stuck behind a slow driver. That's what she said. This is true though, I mean, let's be honest. Okay, so next area that is one of the more popular areas would be South Venice. The upside of South Venice is that it's, so let me get it on the map here for you. It's right there, is that it's no HOA, which for a lot of people, like that's the thing. They want no HOA. And that's the place you're gonna go to get that for the most part. You also got Venice Island, which we'll get to in a little bit. But if you want a house that's pretty affordable relative to, a lot of the other stuff in the area, good location. If you want something a little quieter, a little more kind of a rural feel, but somewhat suburban, you're gonna like South Venice.
Yes, and you're still in a great location, very close to Welland Park, very close to the Venice Island downtown. Also, you can get on for 41 and 75 very quickly. There's very quickly access to both those.
Yeah, you can see right here, here's South Venice, here's 41, here's South Venice, there's Venice, which is like the downtown. You're also really close to a really awesome park that we love a lot. Well, a couple of them actually. Shamrock Park, so you can see that's right there, like really pretty much smack in the middle of it. That's a great park. They got trails, tennis courts, basketball courts, playground.
You can also take a walk right by the waterways, which that's really nice.
Yeah, you can see that right there. There's the waterway right there, the Intracoastal.
South Venice also puts you very close to Minnesota Key Beach,
which is right down here.
So that would be your closest beach.
You can see right there, there's the bridge, Minnesota. So basically, this whole island is Minnesota Key. You got one bridge down here, and that's to go to like the Inglewood Beach, and then the other one is up here. And that would be one of the closer beaches for you if you're living in South Venice. The other upside of South Venice is you could have another beach if you are willing to pay the HOA fee, which is an optional fee, and it gets you access to a private ferry and a private beach.
And only South Venice residents can go to it. So that's even, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's prime.
Like your own private beach.
Tropical island.
Another community is Venice Gardens. This is also a non-HOA community, but there is an optional HOA fee, which gets you access to a pool in the Venice Civic Center.
Yeah, and the nice thing about this is it's a pretty quick, straight shot to get to one of the bridges to get to Venice Island, which I believe is like right there-ish. And yeah, Venice Island is kind of like one of the really popular places to go do stuff because you got the downtown there, you got most of the other beaches, Venice Beach, the Brillhard Paw Park, which is the dog beach, and Sharky's, Casperson. I don't forget Casperson.
So the jetty is there as well.
Yeah, and find Shark's Tooth galore at Casperson Beach. So those are some of the kind of draws to those areas. Now keep in mind, like with Welland Park, you have a lot of easy access to a lot of those things. It's just a little bit of a further drive. Same with South Venice. So it's not like you can't get to those things within, let's say, maybe 20 minutes if you're in Welland Park, 10, maybe give or take 5 minutes from South Venice. Venice Gardens, depending on, if you're sitting a little more east, it might be a 15-minute drive, but if you're on the west end, I mean, you could be the island in like 5 minutes.
And this is all residential driving too, so it's not like you're in a highway for 15 minutes. You're driving through residential streets.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, one thing that showed up on the map that I think is worth mentioning, it's kind of random but awesome, it's definitely a hot spot, would be Detweiler's Farm Market. So that's not too far from South Venice. It's not far from Venice Island. It's not far from Venice Gardens. It is a little bit more of a hike if you're coming from Welland Park. But that's just a really cool place. They have a lot of great fresh fruit, vegetables, some unique ones as well, fish and meat.
Yes.
And
acai bowls, which
Yeah.
those are my favorite. Lots of local coffee, honey.
yeah, lots of, if you want local
The
stuff.
berries are local as well.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is like, so sometimes their stuff can be a little pricey, it depends, but when they have a deal, it is a deal. Like, you stock up on their stuff. So yeah, berries during the summer, a lot of times I'll go there like once or twice a week just to see if they have good deals on berries, because when it hits, sometimes you can get some amazing deals. And yeah, it's a fun place. It's a very unique type of grocery store. It's like a farmer's market style grocery store.
Like an indoor farmer's market.
Yeah, it almost looks like sometimes you've been to like a flea market, like one of those buildings. It's kind of got that look and feel to it. So it's really cool. Now, one other thing to mention is we can't really show this on the map because it's a little more scattered, but there are a lot of scattered little HOA communities throughout Venice. There's some kind of more towards the south, and there's some, that are going to be a little more east. You got Plantation. That's a really nice gated community. Actually, that one's, parts of it are gated, but the whole thing as a whole is not gated. So keep in mind this, these areas we're showing aren't necessarily all encompassing of everything that's in Venice, but these are some of like the larger pockets that have lots of homes.
The next community or area, it's Venice Island. If you're looking to be close to the beach, this is where you want to be.
Yeah, and close to the downtown.
Yeah.
And when I popped it in, she's like, why are there so many dots? Well, it's because there's so much to do. Like all the other ones, when we popped them in, you don't get all these little red markers. All these little red markers, let's go through some of them because there is a lot to do on the island. You got Venice Island boat rentals, you've got fishing charters, Venice Isles Estates. So there's one of the more, community type things. Dental, that's weird that they got a place. But yeah, beach.
Venice Island coffee.
Yeah.
Restaurants.
And the downtown is all kind of, when you look on the map, you can see kind of like how, like here you've got like these sort of curved roads where, kind of curves out and has like a spider web. That's the downtown area and the few blocks around it. And yeah, go straight down and there's Venice Beach down Venice Avenue. Awesome area. I mean, there's just so much to do. Venice Fishing Pier is just down here. The Dog Beach is just below that. Venice Lake Golf Club. So if you want to golf by the water or pretty near the water where you can probably feel the breeze, that's a spot to do that. Casperson Beach. And yeah, great area. And as you can see, Casperson Beach, they have two markers for it because it's a pretty long, big beach as far as lengthwise, not depthwise.
Also, Heritage Park in downtown Venice. It's a really nice park if you can handle the walk from downtown Venice all the way to Venice Beach. We totally recommend it. It's so beautiful doing that walk.
And lots of shade for a hot day.
Yeah. There's also a lot of different parks, like smaller parks scattered throughout the island, and Centennial Park as well, which this is a huge park. It's a huge parking lot with some green areas and a splash pad.
Yeah.
And also public restrooms, which are always nice and clean.
Yeah, you can see that right here, right smack in the middle of everything. And yeah, the island as a whole is just kind of like, a lot of people that want to move to Venice, the reason why is because of the island. Now Welland Park, I think, is starting to change that a little bit. That's becoming a thing too now, which is awesome because now you're got two different areas to go within striking distance of each other.
The next community is Venice East, which is sandwiched pretty much in between Venice Gardens and Plantation.
Yeah,
community.
Sort of that area.
Yeah, and Venice East is just more residential. There is really nothing to do. That's why you see no dots. There's nothing to do other than, single family homes.
It does put you fairly close to some of that shopping though on the Tamiami Trail there, like the Applebee's and Bell's and stuff like that is around there.
Yeah, so it is very much connected to Venice. It's just that the actual Venice East is a residential neighborhood, but there is a lot to do, and you can be on the island within 10 to 15 minutes depending on traffic. Welland Park, it's probably another 10 to 15 minutes also depending on traffic.
Yeah, maybe even closer actually because of where it positions you. You could potentially be maybe a 10-minute drive, maybe 5-minute drive depending on traffic as always, and yeah, just what end of Venice East you're sitting. So nice area. And yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff as far as shopping and stuff, like you got your Applebee's down there and stuff, it's going to be a little more commercial. It's going to be a little bit older. A lot of the stuff's been there for a while. You got McDonald's, Panda Express there, Bell's, Badcock. There's a Dollar Tree. There's Sarasota Wine and Liquor, which is an important place. And just a whole bunch more that's around that area as far as like more commercial type stuff. I guess Sarasota Wine and Liquor is not as like a big box chain. They're more kind of a few of them scattered throughout the Sarasota area.
And you get easy access to the 41, so you can go north and south.
The next one is kind of like a hidden gem, in our opinion. It doesn't get talked about a lot. North Venice. And it's kind of like a light version of Welland Park, I guess you could say. It's a little less master planned. Like,
it's more residential too.
Yeah, there's like not a big downtown planned in the middle of all of it, but at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, this is an area we're gonna build a whole bunch of communities, so it's kind of master planned that way. And yeah, it's nice because you sit a little bit closer to Sarasota if you want some more of that big city stuff to do. You got Siesta Key Beach, which is of course world famous. And
you're about 15 minutes to downtown Venice, about 30 minutes to Sarasota.
And so unfortunately it doesn't really show up on the map as far as like oh, actually they do got a little marker there. So yeah, it's kind of east, kind of north of Venice, and it's weird because it's like north of Laurel and Nokomis.
It's technically Laurel and Nokomis, but that area it's now known as Venice.
I think little by little, Laurel and Nokomis will not be a thing, or what? Yeah, they'll just call it all North Venice.
Nokomis, we always say too. It's like it's pretty much Venice. Like we feel like it's pretty much Venice because you don't get on a major highway to get to Nokomis, and they are so close to each other that it doesn't feel like you left Venice and you're already in Nokomis.
Yeah, so I mean, you can see right here, here's Venice, you go north, there's Nokomis, then there's Laurel, and then there's North Venice. It's just, so, but yeah, it's nice because of, again, puts you close to, there's actually a few little like restaurants and shops and things in the Nokomis area, in Osprey, and then if you keep heading north, you're not too far from south end of Sarasota. Lots to do here. You can see Siesta Keys right here.
Gulf Gate Estates too. It's a really nice area. It's a little older, but there's a lot of different restaurants and coffee shops.
Yeah,
ice cream shops.
It's a fun little area, definitely. We had some really, really good coffee there. I forgot the name of the place, but it's nice to have that access to Sarasota and be able to get there a little bit quicker and not have to go through all of Venice. And the drive is a little bit lighter, as far as, you're not going through as much of a city because Osprey is a little more sparsely populated, so that helps. And we can't mention Nokomis and not talk about it. So again, it's kind of sandwiched in there. It's technically a different city, but it's like you go over a bridge. You're in the city, you're in the city, you're in the city. There's a little bridge, there's some water, and you're in the city. And that new city is Nokomis. But outside of that bridge being there, they do not feel very different. So Nokomis is a little bit quieter, I would say, than Venice. It feels a little bit younger maybe too. It puts you really close to Venice Island though, as you can see right here. Like it's just you go over this little bridge here and then one more bridge here. We'll zoom in a little for you. So this bridge that basically is the one that separates Venice from Nokomis, and then you go over this bridge here, and that'll put you right on Venice Island, really close to the downtown. So you can actually be pretty much 5, maybe 10-minute drive from downtown and live in Nokomis.
There's a lot of different restaurants, waterfront restaurants in Nokomis as well. You're also a lot closer to Sarasota for more shopping, more restaurants, more things to do.
Yeah, what are some of those restaurants at? Nokomis
Sunset, Hot, Pops is over there too, waterfront, and then other restaurants that are not on the water, and they have like Thai. Also, Nokomis has its own beach and jetty, the North Jetty, which you can see from Venice, but it is a 20-minute drive to get there from Venice.
But in Nokomis, it's much shorter, to make that clear. Yeah, it's like probably 5-minute drive, depending on where you live. Yeah. And I really like their beach because the jetty and the beach kind of feels more together versus Venice. It kind of feels a little more separated. And there's just, some more, I feel like there's more going on right by the jetty and the beach. And
Casey Key too, it's right there, and it's a really nice area with all the homes and the mansions. And there's also some restaurants as you get into the bridge to Casey Key, and some boat launch and
short-term rental places and stuff like that too. So there's people there vacationing. And yeah, I really think their beach is a little underrated too for finding seashells and shark's teeth too. And the sand is a little bit whiter than some of the other beaches like Caspersen Beach in Venice. Like the sand's black there in spots. And so it can get really, really hot during the summer. Nokomis, you don't really have to worry about that as much because the sand is a little bit finer, a little bit more white.
And they do have 2 little shacks or like 2 little restaurants on the beach as well, that's nice. In Venice, we don't have anything, so. Yeah,
there's really not a whole lot outside of Sharky's, which Sharky's is awesome.
And it's a different beach.
Which,
if you go to Sharky's Beach, eating right there, it's not a problem.
Yeah, but then you're also further from the jetty. And so with Sharky's, you get the fishing pier, but Nokomis, you get kind of that jetty and a little bit of restaurant type action all right there. And it's just got, I don't know, it feels a little more rustic, I would say too, you know, just a little more of that old Florida feel going on, which is kind of nice.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the area, make sure to call, text, or email us. I am a local realtor here, 941-221-1897.
Call or text anytime, whether you're looking to move in the next few days or the next few months. We hear from people all the time, and we love it, and we'll always have your back.
Watch this video next. YouTube thinks we like it. Subscribe, turn all notifications on, and
Live breezy.